A view of I-40 in Chesapeake Energy Arena, taken from the Skydance Bridge in Oklahoma City. That's our setting tonight. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Hood and Tolliver at the forwards. And it's Whiteside in at the 5. And for the Thunder, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Ferguson in at small forward. Early on, Brent, what are some of the intangibles you look for in a team that may be taking the next step?
First of all, is the player who's returning that's shouldering most of the responsibility, is he any better than last season, Kevin? Has there been some growth in his game? Secondarily,
the great ones always grow.
They always do, and they're really sharp usually coming out of summertime, and they're ready to go. Second thing is, has the roster been tinkered with a little bit or tweaked a little bit to enhance what it is that the skill set of the star player is going to provide for their team throughout the next 8 months of the season?
Now Hood following Chris Paul's three-point attempt. McCollum passes to Lillard. Shot clock at 6. Here's McCollum. And it comes off the front of the rim. The shot's good from Paul.
And Paul takes pride in scoring past the defense. He's used to getting roughed up a little bit. Sometimes he causes most of that, though, Kevin. True grit from the little man.
Now here's McCollum. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against San Antonio.
And what opened things up for him was his passing. He was making so many plays that the D had to play off him.
And here is Paul. Pass to Ferguson. Adams against Whiteside. Good, nice job down low.
Well, combination of muscle and some focus right there allows Steven Adams to collect another bucket.
The Blazers on offense. Lillard, right side, to the paint. Here's McCollum. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, so close in that one, but that's of no solace to the players. They played their hearts out.
And you want to respond in kind, but that last game, it was an effort that most of the time can get you a win. You ran into a tough opponent who was playing at a high level.
Whiteside, great positioning on the putback.
Yeah, there's not a rebound that Whiteside cannot get to when he's floating around the charge circle, reaches up, snatches that one down.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Well, when Danilo Gallinari came into the NBA, Brent, he was just a catch-and-shoot type player. But he's so much more than that now.
Well, I think with the way the league has changed with the three-point shot and Gallinari's ability to do that, he's gotten a lot smarter about picking his spots when the pump fake can drive in and draw some contact.
That free throw good from Gallinari.
A lot of people over the past couple of seasons wondering if C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard would be together. Well, the franchise has made that commitment to them financially. They've kept up great chemistry and great leadership with this team. Have the additions in the offseason been enough to push Portland forward?
And that one goes in, 2 from the line that time. And you think about Lillard and McCollum, both 4-year star players at mid-major schools. Brent, they're used to leading the way and being accountable for the outcome.
Well, they also are very cognizant, Kevin, of recognizing what their contributions can do to lift their teammates. Always quick to compliment the guys that do the dirty work. This is one of the most dynamic duos in terms of backcourts that we have in the NBA.
And here's Gallinari after Damian Lillard was able to get the 3 to go. 5 to shoot. And it's blocked by Lillard.
As soon as Whiteside positions himself, he just spikes that one away. It's like he's playing beach volleyball.
And Lillard kicks to Whiteside. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Lillard against Gallinari. Ferguson for three. Good on the triple.
And Gallinari at that size can do a little bit of everything, and I like to see him dishing the rock.
McCollum dishes to Lillard. Floats one up, and Adams sends it back. Pass to Paul. Here's the lob to Adams, an emphatic alley-oop jam.
Sometimes you raise your eyebrows at the things Steven Adams does athletically at his size. Almost impossible to stop him once he's at the rim.
Now, here's Lillard. He's coming off a 28-point game against San Antonio. Out to Hood. Shot from the wing. Count it.
Shots like this are going to really help Rodney stay in a rhythm.
Oklahoma City leading by 4. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, I had a chance to catch up with Portland's head coach. Going over the matchups, it's clear how much he respects Chris Paul's game. Arguably the best point guard of his era, and still getting it done. Kevin, they'll need to try and figure out a way to rein him in tonight.
Thank you, David. Here's Hood, following the basket by Chris Paul. Hood kicks to McCollum. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. The Trailblazers get it back in a new 14. Lillard from outside does not find the basket. His third miss. He's made just one so far. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Not a lot of room. Passes it to Gallinari. Over Lillard. And it's Hassan Whiteside with the rebound.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Hood gets the bucket.
Well, how about the strength shown there by Rodney Hood? He has that great frame, and he shrugs off the defense that time.
Now here's Paul. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Rockets in Houston. Adams, and Whiteside sends it back. McCollum deciding where to go with it. Double clutches. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, sometimes the D has no choice but to foul Whiteside and try to make him earn it.
And looking at the numbers for Whiteside the last few years, Greg, it seems like his production has come back down a bit.
And for a minute, Whiteside looked like he could be a dominant center, but he struggled since his great 2017 season. Shot selection has been hurting, and sometimes it feels like he is in his own way as a player.
That one is off. And Hassan Whiteside, the kind of that you love when he's engaged, but Brent, equally frustrating when he's not.
You wonder about the role that he's played, and with Miami taking a bunch of different turns in terms of their roster, where he fit in. Now Portland taking a shot at bringing Whiteside to the Northwest, having him possibly come off the bench and play some minutes to stabilize the second unit. It's going to be an interesting year the way he approaches this one mentally.
The pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Paul. Poked away. Pass to Ferguson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Trailblazers trail by 3. Here's McCollum. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. McCollum's got his second bucket of the night.
Gets one to fall, but only his second make in the first 7 attempts.
Paul looking over the floor. Shoots over Lillard, and that's off the glass and in. 8 points for Chris Paul.
Sweet to be a difference maker in the game, and he's been a great option for them on these possessions.
Lillard against Paul. Here's Whiteside. He can't get that one. Adams, some nice D. And now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander, the fast break chance. Yep, that one goes in there. And now a 5-point Thunder lead.
Yeah, you combine a lot of things with Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got speed and length and growing in terms of his basketball IQ.
So for the Trailblazers, their last game, a loss to the Spurs in San Antonio.
Yeah, but what a tremendous effort, Kevin. I thought they were coming all the way back. Such a terrific fourth quarter of basketball, but they just could not get over the hump.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And the first few seasons in the NBA, not an easy time for Terrence Ferguson. Young wings have their ups and downs, but the franchise still very much believes in his talent.
For the Thunder, Muscala, he's checked in for Gallinari. Diallo comes in for Terrence Ferguson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Paul. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Skal Labissière's checked in for Whiteside. Mario Hezonja comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Hood. And it's Simons in for Damian Lillard. It's Hezonja in the corner. Over Muscala. Hezonja's shot is off. The Thunder leading by 5. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's coming off a 22-point game against Houston. Now, here's Schroeder. He's guarded closely. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Well, that's a guy out there in Steven Adams that you just have to pay attention to. Every night he's going to bang around the opposing big guys and be a threat around the rim to score and pick up offensive rebounds.
And Adams, no good on that one. And with Adams on the offensive glass, he is impossible to move.
Well, that's a big reason why a couple years ago, Kevin, he grabbed more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. So you know he's going to live in the paint.
Now here's McCollum over Diallo. And the basket by McCollum. McCollum's got 6.
And the ball handling right there, McCollum, he's able to get anywhere on the court he wants to go.
Schroeder looking around. Pass to Adams. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now.
And just a solid way to start the game. 4-5.
Pass to Bazemore. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That'll be his second foul of the game. Thunder making a change here. Gallinari's checked in. Here's Simons. He's coming off a 10-point game against San Antonio. Just 5 to shoot. Basket good.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Schroeder against Bazemore. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, a definite strength of Schroeder seems to have a knack for knowing when to get rid of that ball.
The Thunder have made 2 of their previous 3 free throws in today's game.
And one of the weaker areas for this group, only shot about 71% from the line a season ago.
Brent, the league's been trying to clean up some of the physicality that we see, some of the jawing, but there are some players that do a great job of nonetheless getting under an opponent's skin.
I don't think, Kevin, over the past couple of years, we would deem the NBA as being more physical than at any other time. Would we say that? We would never say that. But there are still irritants in the game. And the reason why those guys do that is because that's their competitive advantage. And that's the way the league is always going to operate. There are going to be guys out there who are going to use either their intellect to get inside your head or do things on a physical level that are going to cause you to think about what it is you're doing on the floor. Exactly. And when you find those guys, they're really interesting players to watch. You're not going to replicate their shooting form, Kevin. But in terms of sometimes their approach, there are things that you might be able to learn from a Draymond Green or a Marcus Smart.
There's no doubt.
And you talk about shot makers, C.J. McCollum, one of the best in the game. From mid-range, you could argue he's the best, flat out.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Throw good, McCollum. And you look at the shot chart for McCollum. He's a threat rate from everywhere.
Able to hit off the bounce, pulling up. At his height, he's got to be creative, making space for his shot.
So he gets them both.
You think about great perimeter shooters, and CJ, not only just statistically, but stylistically, Kevin, his name comes up. He can heat up and get this team going.
17 points in his last outing. It's rebounded by Labissiere. And now, here's Hezonja. He's guarded closely. Here's Simons. Gallinari covering. Doesn't go for him. The Thunder leading by 6. Here's Diallo. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It goes on C.J. McCollum.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Oklahoma City shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. The first one falls.
Really, in 2019, an up-and-down year and an almost MVP caliber performance from one Paul George. And there were times when they stood out in the Western Conference as possibly the best team and ended up settling for a 6th seed and an exit in the first round.
He's perfect from the line this time. And the Thunder with another early exit in the postseason, Brent, as you said.
I think a little bit shocking in the offseason that Russell Westbrook would be the guy to ultimately be traded. You thought that every night they had a chance to compete with Russell averaging triple-doubles over the past 3 seasons, but unable to deal with some of the salary cap restrictions that they have. So the rebuild is on.
For Portland, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And they shot 81% from the line last season as a team. So you really can't find fault with what they're able to do there.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
Well, Portland being up there in the PNW, that's the Pacific Northwest, always means a lot of air miles. Matter of fact, they lead the league pretty much every year in distance travel.
Both good for time. Well, Brent, you talk about all that travel for the Blazers. That can wear you down.
Well, interesting. The Blazers have done some particular things off the floor for their players, bringing in UV lights into the locker rooms, coffee before the game. It's very much hipster Pacific Northwest.
And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. Now we'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. Second, the Thunder.
And they turned all those mistakes into points at the other end. That aggressive style really yielding big dividends.
Schroeder off target with his three. Trailblazers trail by 6. It's McCollum on the wing. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Baisley, count that bucket. Baisley's got 5. And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for the Trailblazers. They're getting their first look at the Thunder in this one.
Yeah, an interesting history between these two. I mean, last year they were swept by this club in the regular season, but rebounded to take them down in the playoffs.
Shoots it up. Up again. It's good on the putback.
Yeah, good timing there from Scal. Good at out-hustling the defenders to get on the glass.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. It's the Thunder leading by 6. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Great team play, so key to winning. Damian Lillard broke down the keys.
Be a star in your role. You know, I think it's one thing to say, let's be consistent, let's play hard, let's do all of these things. And I think as competitors, as professional athletes, we're going to play hard. You're going to be competitive because we make it to this level for no reason. But I think at this level, you also have egos.
Knowing your role and playing it so well is so crucial.
Yeah, when everybody buys in and plays for one another, that's when teams play their best ball.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, you don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Oklahoma City right now, they've got Gallinari. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Diallo. Then it's Mike Muscala. And it's Baisley in at the 4 spot. First one falls for him. Are there any players, Brent, you have been surprised with how good they've become?
Well, Lato was just out of nowhere, and what an incredible run he had, being a huge part of getting that team into the NBA Finals for the first time. Canada saw finals basketball, the birthplace of basketball.
The Toronto Huskies, you're right.
Pascal Siakam last year was such a huge eye-opener.
How about his game 1 in the finals? Unbelievable.
Tremendous, and great confidence, and the way that he can play, Kevin, very difficult to match up against. Shooting threes, transition, long on defense. Will be interesting to see in the years to come how far Pascal Siakam comes in the league.
Here's Schroeder. Scal Labissiere picking up that last basket. Puts it up from 12, and that one's good. Schroeder's got his first bucket in this one.
And Schroeder, just one of those guys with his speed, extremely difficult to guard. He gets the screen, uses the quickness, advantage Dennis Schroeder.
Now here's McCollum. And there's the pass to Simons. And it's Baisley with the rebound. Oklahoma City leading by 6. Dishes it to Schroeder. He lobs up the alley-oop pass.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Simons surveying the D. Thunder with the rebound.
Hate to say it, but if they're still trailing at the final buzzer, a lot of this is going to be felt by him. His shooting tonight has just been atrocious.
And Labissiere sends it back.
Well, the reach of Labissiere making impact right there on defense, dependable with the shot blocking.
He kicks it to Bazemore. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Thunder have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Diallo. A slam dunk by Diallo.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Simons. Down low. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Lock at 6. Here's McCollum. Sinks that one from the post. McCollum's got 12 points in the game.
Now CJ operating like a surgeon out there tonight.
Pass to Muscala. Back to Schroeder. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Schroeder's got the lead up to 12 now for Oklahoma City. Now a timeout called by Portland. And you watch Dennis Schroeder, you can see how deadly Brent he can be when he's locked in.
Well, he accepted the role in Oklahoma City about coming off the bench and trying to be a spark plug. For Schroeder, it's really about consistency, Kevin.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Muscala. Terrence Ferguson comes in for Gallinari. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander checked in for Diallo. And Paul subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Whiteside's checked in for Skal Labissiere. Tolliver comes in for Hezonja. Hood's checked in for C.J. McCollum. And Lillard subbed in for Anthony Simmons. So it's the Thunder now, following the miss by Hassan Whiteside. Ferguson for 3. Bazemore grabs the miss. Trailblazers trail by 12. Outside Hood. Here is Tolliver, defended by Paul.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Here's Ferguson. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. From the high post. Got a hand on it, but he gets it back. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Here's Lillard. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Passes to Tolliver. Outside Hood. 5 on the clock. Portland needs to get off a shot from the baseline. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Paul outside. Releases. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Paul's got 10 points. And so Lillard will bring it up for the Trailblazers. It's a 14-point game. They host the 76ers after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. They grab their own miss. Whiteside nails the baby hook. 5 points in the game.
That's just pure strength and size from Whiteside, just a Hulk out there. Remains a matchup problem for basically any roster to try to match up physically.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Adams finds Paul. The offensive rebound. Adams' shot is good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Outside Hood. It's deflected. Here's Ferguson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Well, last season, Terrence Ferguson was a starter for the Thunder, and Brent, he made some improvements in his second season.
Yeah, this is another guy for this team that they're just trying to find not just consistent minutes, but consistency in his play.
And he knocks down the first one.
And Brett, even though the Thunder have come up short in recent years, they are looking to the future as their time.
Well, interesting the way that Sam Presti went about his business in the offseason, trading away Russell Westbrook and then collecting so many draft picks. I can't even count them, but what a great way for them to rebuild and revamp in Oklahoma City.
And last season for the Blazers, all about bouncing back from their embarrassing first-round sweep at the hands of the Pelicans.
Well, that was definitely a motivator, and I think they put that to bed, wanted to focus on being the best team that they could be towards the end of last season, and that Nurkic injury really took some wind out of their sails, but they continued to compete and still made noise in the postseason.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it, following the miss by Hassan Whiteside. Now the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Adams, and Adams with the slam.
Just working the offensive glass, strong and aggressive in there, and gets that second chance hoop.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. And those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you.
Well, Steven Adams is very much capable of anchoring a defense right there in a great spot to get the block. A lot of defenders choose to just back up off of him when he's in that tight, try to avoid the and one, and this time they're not backing off.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Lillard, following the score by Oklahoma City. The by Steven Adams. Adams has got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big-time effort. Here's Ferguson, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Portland called for the foul.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots at the game right here.
And he was 73% from the line a season ago, an average number in that regard.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, last season, maybe not a lot talked about with regards to how it is that the Oklahoma City team played defensively. Now, that's coming on the foundation of Paul George on the perimeter, so somebody's going to have to step up in that void. But it was a strength of their team, and we'll see if these other players in these roles can make sure they consistently stay good on that end of the floor.
And Brent, going back to the defense, as the Thunder have lost some of their top scorers, guarding, defending has become a major emphasis.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting time in Oklahoma City for a lot of teaching to get done with these players who are going to have an opportunity to play minutes they have not played before. They look for length and athleticism and hopefully find some guys that have a defensive upside.
Oklahoma City leading by 19 points. Ball outside. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And so Bazemore will bring it up for the Portland Trailblazers. Hood for three. It's good from long range. Hood's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's a good weapon for Rodney Hood. When he's got his feet set, he can sometimes get it going from outside the arc.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's covered by Bazemore. And Whiteside sends it back. They retain possession. Ferguson for three. And it's Portland with the rebound. Whiteside's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Bazemore misses.
Time for some consideration in the passing category, maybe, Kevin. The shot is just not on. Get somebody else going.
And they double up Paul. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander. He dishes it to Adams. Just 5 on the clock. Paul for three. That one doesn't drop. And the Trailblazers going the other way. Bazemore. No one around him. No good with the triple.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
No, I haven't seen him in comfortable spots, or at least spots we've seen in this offensive set that are allowing him to settle in.
Outside Hood. Now here's Bazemore. Tight defense on him. This one for three. And it's Bazley with the rebound. Bazley's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Bazley. To the inside. Ferguson with the rebound.
Yeah, this has been a night where you can look at his shooting and his performance, and it's affected the team. That's the bottom line.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Ferguson. Here's Bazley. 11 points in the game. Here's Paul. Bazemore grabs the miss. Bazemore's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And Lillard throws it down.
And there's the problem. Lillard just too quick and too shifty to stop cold on any dribble drive.
Lillard against Paul. Basket counts. Paul's got 12.
When a player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard them and where your point of commitment is.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And every season, the Thunder continue to be one of the more dominating teams on the glass.
You just wonder how much Steven Adams has been the catalyst for that kind of mentality. We know that offensively he's always in there to grab rebounds, but it's part of what they know is important in any possession is collecting the ball.
Shooting 2.
Free throw, good, Whiteside.
Interesting with the game shifting to the pace and space about where Whiteside fits into the puzzle. He is still a double-double threat down on the inside and can be taken advantage of on nights.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Labissiere's checked in for Tolliver. Hezonja comes in for Hood, and McCollum subbed in for Kent Bazemore. That one is no good.
And offensively, they've gotten stuck on the perimeter, falling in love with the jumper.
Here's Paul. In for his 7th make in 14 tries.
Well, what we've seen here tonight, Chris Paul can put points up on the board still in a hurry, just carrying the offensive load right now.
Now here's Lillard. 7 points in the game. Hezonja on the wing. Back to Lillard. Hezonja trying to free himself up. And Lillard gets it to go. 9 points in the game so far.
Not just the accuracy in the quarter, it's his movement and the energy that's getting him on this nice roll.
Paul outside. Here's Schroeder. Offensive rebound. Gallinari. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It goes on C.J. McCollum.
And Gallo does an outstanding job there getting into the contact as he was shooting.
For Oklahoma City, they have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12. That free throw good from Gallinari.
Amazing year last year to see Gallinari fully healthy. So valuable when he's out there on a consistent basis, and he can score from anywhere on the floor.
Gallinari hits them both. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder taking a 19-point lead into the break. They've been playing some ferocious defense. We've got more in store for you right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Chris Paul had a huge first quarter. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their benches provide. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
Looking at Portland, Shaq, your thoughts?
They were not running an efficient offense. The shot selection has to improve. It's as simple as that. Too many guys working as individuals, not as a team. They need to work as a unit, Ernie. Move the ball.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side.
My brother.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You look at Chris Paul, what a contribution.
And guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside with some ease. Not much resistance out there.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. On the floor for Portland, Hood and Tolliver at the forwards. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. And it's Whiteside in at the 5, roaming the paint. Kept alive. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Whiteside working on having a better all-around feel for the game, and that time makes a solid read.
And the call will go against Anthony Tolliver. And that'll be his third foul so far. So here's Gallinari. Here's Paul.
Good defensive effort from Lillard there. He has the athleticism to play lockdown deep.
That's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. Second, the Thunder. In fourth, the Trailblazers.
So many second chance opportunities for both of these clubs a season ago, and they really took advantage.
Now here's Lillard. The shot. The Thunder pull it in.
So weird. Sometimes when you get that much time, it can throw you off just as much as having no time.
Hood drives in. It's tipped.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And there's Gallinari on the assist by Paul. That's now 8 points for Gallinari.
And for Coach Billy Donovan of the Thunder, a lot on the line. In his last year of a 5-year contract with the team, the end result of this team will determine his future with the franchise.
Well, this team has never missed the playoffs under his watch, and the interesting thing with the massive trades that happened in the offseason, how much Billy Donovan gets the opportunity now to teach and coach this group of players. 1 of 5 here, Kevin, to start the half. Their offense looks like it's shrinking right now.
A floater, and it's blocked by Whiteside. Adams' shot is good.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Now here's McCollum. He's got 12. Here's Hood. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
Not surprised at all. He's well and scoring points in bunches.
McCollum kicks to Lillard. Some solid D from Paul. Oklahoma City leading by 23. Here's Ferguson, and there's another one for the Thunder.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
Now, here's Lillard. 9 points in the game so far.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him find his touch and still be a factor. Don't count them out yet. You go back to 2015, the Blazers lost 4 of their 5 starters in the offseason. So instead of rebuilding, they retooled around Damian Lillard, and what a piece to retool behind. Amazing how far they've come in the past couple seasons where they've placed in the Western Conference.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Gallinari. Well, you know, Brent, you've got to give a lot of credit to the Blazers front office, continuing to fortify this roster with under-the-radar acquisitions.
Interesting adjusting around a couple of albatross contracts to now have a team that's capable at positions that a lot of teams are trying to fill. That's the wing position.
Gallinari hits them both. Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Yeah, and his shot selection, iffy at best tonight. A lot of forced, contested shots this game. He'll be lucky if he just gets a talking to here instead of a ticket to the bench.
Taking a look here at some numbers for Damian Lillard. He's coming off an excellent season. He averaged about 26 points a game last year, 7 assists and 4 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders. When he is in the game, a great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. They get the rebound. Makes it off the glass. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Ball's knocked loose. To the middle. Here's Ferguson. And it's blocked by Whiteside. They get it back.
Well, love the aggressive play here from Adams. He gets the shot he wants, and now another opportunity to challenge himself at the free throw line.
And this will be his 2nd and 3rd shots at the line here.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
Now, Steven Adams does all of the dirty work. I mean, all of it, Kevin. A defensive anchor and continues to play with tremendous energy on a nightly basis.
And so Adams nails both of them.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Outside Hood. Pass to McCollum. Now Lillard. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Lillard, the pass to McCollum. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. 15 points for C.J. McCollum.
And dialing up the 3 ball, he finally puts it into the 14-0 run by Oklahoma City.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, for the last 5 years, the Golden State Warriors have been the colossus that stood over the NBA. And there were thoughts that most teams were not willing to do things to be competitive, knowing that they could not beat the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, and then Kevin Durant. But the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals last year, combined with the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson, have opened things up. And for the first time in a long time, there are any number of teams in this league that believe it's their time.
Probably so. The West is strengthened, there's no doubt, D.A. Interesting matchups coming up for sure. Thank you. Lillard finds McCollum, and the Trailblazers getting another bucket right there.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And the Blazers with Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, 2 6'3" guards, Brent, in the backcourt. Some overlap, perhaps, in their skill sets. But do you like their fit?
I do like their fit, and by all measurements, Kevin, they seem to be overachieving every year. You have that kind of stability with McCollum and Lillard, and what it is that Terry Stotts has done with this ball club, that's something that the Portland Trailblazers fans are very comfortable with, having these 2 guys out there to lead them just maybe one step further this season.
Hood with it. He's got 9. 6 to shoot. And they double up Whiteside. Tough break there. Shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. Gilgeous-Alexander.
Too much at that. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander, with that height at his position, allows him to do so many things other guys really pretty much dream of.
Now, here's Lillard. Looking to end his cold spell. Draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Well, he's 1 for 5 in the quarter, and his body language is saying a lot about where his confidence is. Rattled just a little bit. Maybe the next open look will start him up.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Mike Muscala is checked in for Terrence Ferguson. Diallo comes in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Chris Paul. That free throw good from Lillard.
Scoring has always been Lillard's strength, but last season a career high in assists, and you wonder how much a healthy Nurkic is going to help propel this team as they've equipped themselves with some interesting players at the wing position to try to take another step forward in the Western Conference.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Lasagna, the pass to Simons. Lillard from outside hits the 3-point bomb. Lillard's got 6 points in the quarter.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And watching film is becoming an obsession for Damian Lillard.
Well, that's a great way to learn, visually sitting down and not only looking at your opponents, but where it is maybe where you can take advantage and stay in your zone. Lillard committed to the game and committed to improving.
And it's Gallinari missing.
Been a struggle for him tonight, but if they can make this lead hold up, they can just chalk this up as one of those nights.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
Schroeder with the ball. Now guarded by Labissiere. Molinari passes to Adams. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Adams has got 20. And here are the Blazers. They're on a 16-6 run. Simons inside. Here's Lillard. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Lillard's got 11 points here in just the second half. Schroeder passes to Gallinari. Shoots over Bazemore. Adams trying to free himself up. A nice shot by Gallinari.
And Gallo knows how to finish through contact. Excellent touch from there from the big fella.
Pass to Simons. Lillard against Schroeder from the arc. And the Trailblazers, another three.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Passes it to Diallo. Shot clock at 5. Adams trying to free himself up. Offensive rebound. No good with the layup.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
Schroeder. Portland grabs the miss. Labissiere's got 6 rebounds in the game. There's the pass to Bazemore. Chalk up 2 there.
Ooh, nice use of the floater there. Bazemore has this shot down, Pat. Exceptional touch.
Bazemore against Schroeder. And here's Gallinari. 12 points for him. And it's in there. Gallinari's got 14 points.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
He's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
Oklahoma City leading by 18. 51 left to play here in the third. And the foul called on Skal Labissiere. That'll be his second foul of the game. .146 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Schroeder. Good work defensively by Lillard.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level, and his tonight has been high.
Got a piece of it. Schroeder passes to Gallinari. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 5 assists in the game. Trailblazers trail by 21. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. And Portland making a change here. Tolliver's checked in. And it's the Trailblazers with the ball. Here's Lillard. Rebound by Muscala. Muscala's got 5 rebounds tonight. Diallo the pass to Schroeder. With the floater. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. Now, here's Lillard. 23 points in the game. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Lillard's got 25 points in the game.
Always an appreciation for Lillard and his build, just how rugged he is, along with that fearlessness.
Schroeder outside. Here's Muscala, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Really can't criticize the work he did at the line a year ago. 82% on the season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Portland's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight, just a little over 40%. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Lillard looking around. Lillard again missing. Gallinari outside. Missed inside.
I'm not sure where the lack of focus comes in there, Kevin. That's not like him. The defense is close, but there's enough space to score.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder holding a 22-point lead as the quarter wraps up. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And let's listen to head coach Terry Stotts review the game plan with his guys.
It's a long game. It's a long game. But listen, we don't have a chance if we don't rebound and defend and give them second chance points. It takes too much out of us. All right?
Well, the message there, can't give up additional scoring opportunities.
He is on point with that. They have got to do a better job on the backboards, and right now the effort is lacking.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. We've got Dennis Schroeder. Muscala is out there with Diallo. Then there's Gallinari. And it's Baisley in at the power forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Right on the bucket. Diallo's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Oklahoma City.
I just don't think they want him taking that kind of shot. Again, his teammates are just laughing, shaking their heads there on the bench.
Here's Bazemore. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And Bazemore looking pretty comfortable on the inside there, weaving around for that too.
Schroeder against Lillard. Schroeder dishes to Muscala. Gallinari outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Bazemore. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander checked in for the Thunder. And a switch here also for Portland. C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for Lillard. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. And it's Schroeder missing.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for that.
It's blocked. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's guarded by McCollum. Now, here's Schroeder. Here's Diallo. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Tolliver's got rebound number 5 here tonight. We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Here's Bazemore. They swipe it. One-on-one here. Lays it up off the glass.
Boy, shot out of a cannon on that possession. Good look up court.
Portland's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. McCollum against Schroeder. And he drops in the layup off the glass. 19 points for C.J. McCollum.
Well, McCollum undersized at his position, at least in terms of his strength. But he can play that way because he competes. That's a tough one there.
Pass to Muscala. Players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over,
yes.
And you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and you're a college player, and you're listening to some of the things that guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around a player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the players.
Outside. A look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. And it's blocked.
Well, these blocks by Schroeder has got to get his teammates going. They're more rare than they are commonplace, but Schroeder getting in there with good hands.
It's McCollum on the wing, and stolen by Diallo. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
2 shots. Foul. 2. Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Diallo. But when it comes to choosing, Brent, the MVP, the Coach of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, all these different great awards, do you like the current voting structure for these big awards right now?
I don't mind the current voting structure. I don't know how you get away from what it is that, in terms of handing people ballots to figure out who it is that they think have earned those awards throughout the year, Kevin. What I don't like about the structure is that you have media members who are voting on things that have huge financial ramifications for organizations. And when that stuff happens with a player who's going to earn a supermax contract because he made an all-NBA team, what you're going to start doing is restricting smaller market teams from being able to afford the ability to keep their star player with the team. And so that needs to be fixed, and fixed immediately.
I do not like the media. Wait a minute.
Wait.
I am the media.
You are the media, Kevin.
Strike that. Let's rewind.
Can we delete that?
The throw good. McCollum. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. And so McCollum nails both of them. You know, Brent, something other major sports do, reseeding during the playoffs. So the highest seeds always will play the lowest seeds. And do you think the NBA should go down that road?
I think the consideration will still be there. I think that conversation is going to happen over the course of the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see it changing in that time, Kevin, but it's healthy to continue the dialogue to the point where maybe we do get there.
And it's Ford missing. The Thunder leading by 23. Here's Burton. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Here's Trent. The dish to Brown. Trent passes to McCollum. And it's Noel with the rebound.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
To the paint, here's Burton. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another, Greg.
Here's McCollum. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. McCollum's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Hey, yo, right here.
Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. No good one. Now Portland takes it the other way. McCollum outside. Horde passes to Brown. Side. The rebound by Patton. The Thunder leading by 23. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. C.J. McCollum with the rebound. McCollum rebounds in this game.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
And the gamble paying off.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Of course, Dirk Nowitzki spent his whole career with the Dallas Mavericks. We don't see that much anymore, do we? From the beginning to the end with one team.
No, but I think we're going to still occasionally have anomalies like we did with Reggie being in Indiana for the years of his playing career. Nate McMillan was in Seattle for his playing career, now coach of the Indiana Pacers. So there will be times where we'll have that once or twice. It's not going to happen very much, Kevin.
Not in today's
Not in
NBA.
today's game, and not with what's at stake.
Here's CJ.
Lillard, right side, takes a three. Thunder with the rebound. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. And that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand. Fouled in the act of shooting, gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him. That sends Chris Paul to the free throw line. It goes on C.J. McCollum. And Portland making a change here.
One shot.
At this point in his career, Chris Paul is all about trying to get that elusive championship. Will play whatever role it takes to get that mission done.
Now Whiteside. Passes it to Little. Here's a garbage time question, Brent. Why do some teams leave their star players in the game even though the game has either been won or lost?
Forgetful coaches? No, can't. Well, I don't know if...
if you're leading by 35 points late in the game.
And the star player is still in the game. Somebody's made a mistake with regards to the rotations. Quite frankly, there's really no reason for guys to be out there at that time. Early on in the season, it might be that the coach wants to start and play with certain guys, but as the season goes on, you just don't see that very much.
With the ball, he brings it up for the Trailblazers. Little kicks to Lillard. That's tipped. Paul with the ball. Back to Paul. Clock at 6. Shoots the three, and the call is going to be yes, it is.
But I think they've done a really good job keeping control of the ball throughout the game.
Burton's checked in for Terrence Ferguson. Portland also making some changes. Brown is checked in for Whiteside. And it's Simons in for Lillard. Now here's Little. Defense is right there. Sweet little floater.
When a player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard them and where your point of commitment is.
Pass to Burton. And how often do players argue calls knowing that they are in the wrong? They know they're going after something that was the correct call.
Let's just say often, Kevin. You just never the whistle.
Are they thinking ahead in terms of saying?
I don't think so. It's emotional. It's just an emotional reaction. You're out there running around. and doing what you do, and you get a whistle, you're going to react to it like, oh, I did something wrong. Why am I in the principal's office right now? I want to get my side out. I know you saw it. Everybody does it.
That sounds like you may have done a lot of that.
I try to avoid that, Kevin. Quite
did you?
frankly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's healthy for you and your reputation.
Here's Trent. Here's Brown. And he makes good on the layup.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, you just can't afford to give up second chance opportunities again and again.
Here's Burton. Paul, left side. It's hauled in by Trent. Portland's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Simons. Pass to Trent. Fires top of the key. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Burton. Brent, we have seen some international showcase games the last few years. Do you like that trend?
Oh, absolutely. I like the fact that our league, we know how global it is with how many players from different countries are represented throughout the rosters around the league. But for our game to travel around to London and to Mexico City and have an opportunity for those fans to see what NBA basketball is like, I think it's an absolute win for the NBA.
I'd like to see more, actually.
Well, more time for those teams. The timing of some of those trips for some teams are a little bit tough in terms of the travel, but their appearances there mean so much more to grow the game globally.
Here's Nader. Kicks to Noel. Tries again, and Labissiere sends it back.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for Oklahoma City.
They made more foul shots, and that was the difference.
That was a big advantage. The other team was defending with their hands instead of moving their feet, and they handed them a lot of easy points at the line.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Steven Adams.
I liked his aggressiveness here tonight, especially on the glass. He was not messing around.
Burton, the pass to Paul. Noel with it. Labissiere's there. Noel with it. Now guarded by Labissiere. Here's Nader. They get it back. He feeds it to Noel. Paul outside. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much with Chris Paul. Chris, a very convincing win, and that doesn't happen often in this league. So what do you take from this?
You know, one thing that our coaching staff keeps stressing to us every night is that it's about us. You know, so regardless of score, we got to continue to try to get better because we impose our will on the defensive end. The sky's the limit.
Well, the focus was there tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brent Barry, Craig Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.